For the second time in 2 years, Democrats, the party of preserving democracy, according to them, have chosen a major candidate without an election. After ousting Graham Platner, they did this behind closed doors by committee, obviously, which they also required IDs to enter. And then they chose this guy.
Because we're not from the left, we're not from the right, we're from the bottom, and we are rising.
The bar is literally on the floor. This guy, we know, couldn't get elected statewide because he couldn't get elected statewide. He got crushed in the governor primary in Maine. Now, behind closed doors, he's been nominated without a single vote cast by the public. He used to be a staunch pro-life Republican. In fact, received perfect 100% ratings from the anti-abortion group Maine Right to Life in 2003 and 2010, saying the abortion should never be legal. That's what he said. He also voted to ban same-sex marriage. But to get the nod for the Democrats, he's attributed those to his, get this, Catholic and rural upbringings that he said were wrong. I happen to think they're right, but now he's saying they're wrong just so we can get them. Because none of Maine is Catholic or rural, right? That'll play great, I'm sure. And apparently he's also a complete hothead. He threw a water bottle at a female staffer or something. I mean, if I was at a Democrat caucus, I can't imagine that I might not throw something at someone, but I'm also not running for anything. I just have no patience for that whole party. I hear Bob Menendez is available for a consultation with him, with his gold bars. He also may have mortgage fraud in there somewhere that entered into a tax lien. He paid it off right away when they found out about it. He should fit in fine with that party. But Democrats put themselves in this place. Graham Platner has had all kinds of controversy since day one. Look, we found out about his Nazi tattoo almost a year ago. And they thought they could, we're just going to ride this one out and be fine. Turned out he had a whole pile of other stuff. The best was when Bernie Sanders was asked this weekend, he's like, sir, do you vet the people you endorse?
You are confident that with your endorsements, these other candidates have been fully vetted?
Well, look, I think there are hundreds of candidates. I don't know who has been, quote unquote, fully vetted.
Well, you just mentioned two of them.
All I know is the candidates well, all I know is, Margaret, that the candidates that we are supporting are standing up for the working class of this country.
Oh, really? No vetting whatsoever? Just someone tells you, hey, Bernie, put your reputation on the line for this rando that you have no idea. It seems like a good idea. I mean, weed is legal in Vermont. That's how they get to this stuff. It would be one thing if this was a one-off, but this is super common. Not weed in Vermont with Bernie Sanders. That is also common. But it goes to the disorganization within the entire Democrat Party. They also broke right now that they had to put the DNC headquarters in Washington, D.C. up for his collateral to get money. This is after Kamala Harris stiffed him for $20 million in debt from her campaign. And these people want to manage the nation's budget hard. Pass on that, pal. This cycle, they've asked their vendors also to not bill them until after the November. Do 6 months of work for free for us. We promise we'll pay you. If I was a consultant, I would be like, dude, pound sand. There's no way I'm going to wait till you win the seat because, they're just not going to get paid. Plus, this all goes to show you how little they care about little business owners. They are a party without money, they're without message, and apparently without memory.
And if modest or minor challenges emerge, such as the one that was disclosed voluntarily by the authorities in New Jersey, that it is immediately corrected. Unfortunately, what we've seen from Donald Trump is that in this particular case, Republicans have adopted voter suppression as an electoral strategy.
Yeah. You want a do-over? Because, you guys are pretty much the party of anti-ICE. I can make you look stupid. Too late, though.
Right now in U.S. Congress, that a qualified immunity for ICE agents must end, and if necessary, ICE must be abolished.
We can just, abolish ICE and take that money.
We must abolish ICE. Period.
We need to abolish ICE and replace it. We need to stop funding ICE that's violating human rights.
And it is why I support ripping ICE apart and holding them accountable.
The funny thing is the way the federal government works. If they were to abolish ICE and start a new agency, you do realize that in the federal hiring system, all the ICE agents who are out of work would all start working for the new agency, so nothing would change.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.